Welcome students, this is Ravi Shankar. So let us continue the example problems. We are going to see now the example problem number 1.22. And this example problem 1.22 is available in the page. So let us consider the page number 64. See, in this example problem they have given an circuit diagram, combination of capacitors, and from this combination we have to calculate or we have to simplify and get the final answer. Let us consider. See, a capacitor is given, then two more capacitors are connected in parallel like this. The two ends are again connected to another branch. So here we are having what? Here we are having two more capacitors. Then here we are having an capacitor and the other end is connected or shorted out. Here they are having a point Q. Here you are having a point P. So you are asked to calculate equivalent capacitance between the points P and Q. So calculate the equivalent capacitance between P and Q. See, the values are being given. What are the values? See, the values given are when you are considering the values, see 1.24, isn't it? The values are, this is 4 microfarad. This capacitance is considered to be 4 microfarad. This is of 1 microfarad and this of 3 microfarad and this of 6 microfarad. This one of 2 microfarad and this one of 8 microfarad. So let us solve this problem step by step. First of all, what I am considering is, I am naming the capacitor. This one is C1, this one C2, this one is C3, this one is C4, this one is C5, this one is C6. I am going to simplify this circuit into another one. How to simplify? So in order to simplify, I am writing 2 or 3 steps. What are the first step? So step 1, what I am considering. In this diagram, C2 and C3 are in parallel combination. So I can write C2 and C3 are in parallel. If they are in parallel, then the effective capacitance is Cp. I am considering it as Cp1 because here I am another parallel combination. So what is Cp1? Cp is the sum of the two capacitors, C2 plus C3. That is 1 plus 3. So I am writing Cp1 is equal to 4 microfarad. I am considering the next step, step 2. What is the step 2? I am considering C4 and C5. C4 and C5 are again in parallel. So I am writing C4 and C5 are in parallel. If C4 and C5 are in parallel, let us consider that parallel combination as Cp2. In parallel combination, I am writing it as C4 plus C5. So C4 is 6, C5 is 2. So I can write Cp2 is equal to 8 microfarad. I am applying these two, I am applying these two for simplification. I am drawing this diagram here again. So here it is the point P. See, in this point P, C1 is available as it is, but C2 and C3 can be replaced by Cp. So I am drawing here a capacitor and I am representing it as Cp1. Then here instead of C4 and C5 it is replaced with Cp2. Here I can write this as Cp2. Then another capacitor, the original capacitor C6 is said to be available. And here you are having the point Q. Now this diagram has to be simplified. What is the value of C1? The value of C1 again 4 microfarad. What is the value of Cp1? That is also 4 microfarad. I have written it here. What is Cp2? I have written it here. It is 8 microfarad. What is C6? C6 is again another 8 microfarad. Now you have to simplify this. Simplify this diagram. So in order to simplify this diagram, I am going for the next step. What is the next step? I am considering step number 3. What is the next step you see? The next step is step number 3. So I am writing step 3. What is step 3? Look at this second diagram. C1 and Cp1 are in series. So I can write C1 and Cp1 are in series. If both are in series, then I can write 1 by Cs1 is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by Cp1, which is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. So I will be getting 2 by 4 or I will be getting it as 1 by 2. So taking reciprocal, I can write what is the value of Cs1. So taking reciprocal, Cs1 is equal to 2, or I can write 2 microfarad. Similarly, I am writing here how to get step 4. I am writing step 4. Look at this diagram. Cp2 and C6 are in series. So Cp2 and C6 are in what? They are in series. So if both these are in series, then I can get the calculation like this. 1 by Cs2 is equal to 1 by Cp2 plus 1 divided by C6. So 1 divided by Cs2 equal to 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8, or I can get it out as 2 by 8, or 1 by Cs2 is equal to 1 by 4, or Cs2 is equal to 4 microfarad. Isn't it? So what I can write or what I can say, I think you are able to see it clearly now. See, Cs1 is equal to 2 microfarad and Cs2 is equal to 4 microfarad. I can simplify this second diagram into the third diagram. What is the third diagram 3? See, here I can see two C1 and Cp are replaced and the Cp2 and C6 are replaced. Now the diagram can be restored as, so I am writing diagram 3. See, what I have to do? I have to replace the two capacitors into a single capacitor, which is Cs1. Then in the bottom also, the two capacitors are simplified into a single capacitor, that we have to write it out as Cs2. And these two are connected here. Here you are having the point Q. Here you are having the point P. Now, this can be again simplified. That let us consider it as what? Let us consider it as step 5. What is step 5? Cs1 and Cs2 are in parallel. So, are in parallel means let us consider it as Cp. That is the equivalent final one. Beyond that we can't able to simplify. These two capacitors are brought out into a single capacitor called to be Cp. Here you are having the point P. Here you are having the point Q. So what is Cp? Cp is the sum of the two capacitance Cp1 plus Cp2. That is what is Cs1? Cs1 is 2 microfarad and Cs2 is 4 microfarad. So how I can write is equal to 2 CS1 is 2 microfarad plus CS2 is 4 microfarad, and the answer that you can able to get is 6 microfarad. Therefore, I can write CP, or the final capacitance, or the equivalent capacitance. Therefore, equivalent capacitance is equal to CP, which is equal to 6 microfarad. This is how you can able to simplify. Okay, I think you are very clear about this idea. If you want, I can go through this problem again diagrammatically alone without doing this explanation. If this may be asked in 1 mark question, how I can able to simplify. See, a liter, I am writing it as a liter, or another method. You see, you are having an capacitor. To that capacitor, 2 more capacitors are being connected. Okay, 2 more capacitors like this, not like this. So I am considering, I am having a capacitor like this, isn't it? Then these are taken here. Here I have to consider. Then here you are having 2 capacitors. Then another capacitor. So this point, let us consider it as P, and this point, let us consider it as Q. How to simplify this? See, we are very clear. The values are given as, this is 4 microfarad, and this one, it was being given as 1 microfarad, and this one, it is 3 microfarad, this one, it is 6 microfarad, this one 2 microfarad, and this one 8 microfarad. You can directly simplify this using the ideas. See, this, on seeing the diagram, these 2 capacitors are in, these 2 capacitors are in parallel. So let us write this as CP1, which is equal to 3 plus 1, 4 microfarad. Then these 2 are in parallel again. So 6 plus 2, let us write CP2, which is equal to 8 microfarad. So how to simplify now? You are having 4 microfarad. Okay. Then simplified value of that capacitance, another 4 microfarad. Then here you will be having 8 microfarad. Here the value given 8 microfarad. These 2 are connected. These 2 are connected. Here you are having P, and here you are having Q. So how to simplify this? See, when you are considering this diagram, you can say these 2 are in series. So let us write CS1, and these 2 are in series, CS2. So how I can get this CS1? So CS1 is equal to, or 1 by CS1 is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 divided by 4, that is 2 by 4, or 1 by 2. Or CS1 is taking reciprocal, you will be getting 2 microfarad. Similarly, 1 by CS2 equal to 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8, you will be getting 2 by 8, or it is 1 by 4, or CS2 is equal to 4 microfarad. Now, when you are considering these 2, we can go for the next diagram then. See, these 2 replaced with one single capacitance, which is CS1. These 2 replaced with another single capacitance, that we can consider this as CS2. So you are having the point P here, having the point Q here. CS1 is 2 microfarad. CS2 is 4 microfarad. So how to simplify this? You can simplify again. You can see, or you can say CS1 and CS2 are in parallel. So you will get a single capacitance. That let us write it out as CP. This CP is taken to be equivalent capacitance of the combination, which is equal to CS1 and CS2 are in parallel. If they are in parallel, you have to add 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 microfarad. The same concept. If it is asked in 1 or 2 mark question, you can go like this by simplifying with the help of the diagram alone. If not, if you want to do it in a regular manner, then what you have to do, if you want to do it in regular manner, then you do it like this. How? You have to do by writing what? By writing the different steps. I think you should have understood what I have told you. Clear? Okay, this is problem number 1.22. Still we are having two more problems. Let us go for the next one. The next problem is example number 1.23, and in this example number 1.23, let us go with the problem, and it is available in page number 6.6. So I am going to consider about the example problem 1.23, and the page number is 66. Take your book and go through it. See, two conducting spheres of radius r1 is equal to 8 centimeter and r2 equal to 2 centimeter are separated by a distance much larger than 8 centimeter. Okay, we are having two spheres. This is one of the sphere having a radius r1 which is equal to 8 centimeter. This is another sphere having a radius r2 which is 2 centimeter. Separated by a distance, namak thevailla, so distance d is greater than that of 8 centimeter. Okay, let us leave it out. And they are connected by a thin conducting wire as shown in the figure. So these two spheres are connected with the help of a thin conducting wire. Now, a total charge, that is Q, a total charge of plus 100 nanocoulomb. So a total charge of plus 100 nanocoulomb is given to this arrangement or given to this system. After a fraction of a second, the charge Q is redistributed and both charges attain static equilibrium. Okay. See, when the charges are given to the system, charges will get distributed. Let us take like this. Let Q1 be the charge available in the first sphere and the Q2 be the charge available in the second sphere. So, sigma 1 be the surface charge density in the first sphere and sigma 2 be the surface charge density in the second sphere. Now, what are the concepts asked? Calculate the charge and the surface charge density on each sphere. Option A, you are asked to calculate charge and surface charge density on each sphere. That is, you have to calculate what is the value of Q1, what is the value of sigma 1. Similarly, what is the value of Q2 and what is the value of sigma 2. This is the first question asked. What is the second one asked? Calculate the potential at the surface of each sphere. Calculate the potential at or on the surface of each sphere. See, it should be on, it is given as at. That is, on the surface of the sphere, let us consider the potential as V1. Here, let us consider the potential as V2. So, you are asked to calculate what is the value of V1 and what is the value of V2. See, we have studied about this in redistribution of electrical charges in your theory. When two spheres are connected in series, then are connected with the help of a thin wire, we have stated that both spheres are having the same potential. See, if you are considering one of the sphere as 1 and 2, we can write. See, I can consider the solution like this. See, the first concept that I have to state is since both spheres, we have studied it in theory, are connected with a thin wire, since they are connected with a thin wire, the potential for both the spheres are same. So, if that is the case, I can write like this. Potential in the first sphere V1 is equal to potential on the second sphere V2. See what I have written here? For that I have written the mathematical concept. So what is this V1? Therefore, what is this V1? V1 is potential on the surface of the first sphere. What is the potential on the surface of the first sphere? 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by R. Because the charges given to the sphere acts like a point charge. Here, this is a general formula. If it is in the first case, then I have to write this as Q1 and this one is R1. This is Q1 and another one R1. So I can write it out like this. See, it is Q. I can write Q1 divided by R1. Similarly, what is V2? V2 is potential on the surface of the second sphere. Potential on the surface of the second sphere is, I can write 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q2 divided by R2. Now, according to the concept, V1 is equal to V2. So, since V1 is equal to V2, we can write 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 divided by R1 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q2 divided by R2. So, on simplifying 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 will get cancelled. If that is the case, I can get the answer as, so I can get it out as Q1 divided by R1 is equal to Q2 divided by R2. See, from this equation, I can calculate what is the value of Q1. So, therefore, Q1 is equal to, on cross multiplying, I can write R1 divided by R2 multiplied it with Q2. Take this as equation number 1. See, it was being given as the total charge given to the system is Q, which is redistributed on the two spheres. So, according to the law of conservation of charges, according to the law of conservation of charges, what we have studied, the total charge given Q equal to the sum of the charges in the two spheres. So, I can substitute 100 coulomb, or you can say 100 nanocoulomb is being given. So, 100 into 10 to the power of minus 9 is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Therefore, from this above equation, you calculate Q1. What is Q1? Q1 is equal to, I can write 100 nanocoulomb minus Q2. So, the answer will be in nanocoulombs. Let us take this as equation number 2. See, you take this value and substitute in what? Substitute in equation number 1. Take equation 2 and substitute in 1. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. See, on the left hand side you see Q1. Instead of Q1 I can write 100 minus Q2 is equal to R1 divided by R2 into Q2. So, I have written an equation in terms of Q2 replacing Q1. Now, hereafter it is mathematics, not physics. So, simplify. How to simplify this? You take this Q2 to the other side. Okay, you take this Q2 to the other side and simplify. So, how I can write 100 is equal to, when I am taking this to the other side, Q2 plus Q2 into R1 divided by R2. Or Q2 can be taken as a common factor, 1 plus R1 divided by R2. Or I can write this as, see, left hand side it is 100 nanocoulomb. Q2 into, if you are taking R2 as LCM, I can write it out as R1 plus R2. Now you make a cross multiplication, 100 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 is equal to Q2. So let us consider the value of Q2 and substitute for R1 and R2 and get the answer. See, we know the value of R2, we know the value of R1, and we know the value of again R2. So in this equation, you substitute for what? You substitute for R1 and R2. I can write Q2 equal to 100 into, what is R2? R2 is 2 centimeter. Okay, let us keep it on centimeter itself because both will cancel. Here R1 is considered to be 8 centimeters. So 8 plus 2. So what is the value of Q2 then? Q2 equal to 100 into 2 divided by 10. So on cancelling, you will be getting 20 nanocoulomb. So we have calculated the value of Q2 and Q2 equal to 20 nanocoulomb as the answer. Now you take this value and substitute in equation number 1 or equation number 2, because Q1 is equal to 100 minus Q2. So you substitute this as we know from 2. Okay, so I am writing from equation 2, as we know, what we have calculated. See, Q1 is equal to 100 minus Q2. I can get it out as 100 minus 20. So Q1 is equal to 80 nanocoulomb. So we have calculated Q1 and we have calculated Q2. See, Q1 is equal to 80 nanocoulomb and Q2 is equal to 20 nanocoulomb. This was the answer that you got by simplifying. Clear? Now, what is the next one asked? Here itself, in the first question itself, they have also asked, what is the surface charge density? So, surface charge density of the first sphere and the surface charge density of the second sphere. Let us write. So, the next concept is, we have to calculate surface charge density. So, for first sphere, what is the surface charge density? Let us write sigma 1. Sigma 1 is nothing but Q1 divided by A1. So, we can write Q1 divided by, what is A1? Area. Area of what? Area of a sphere. Surface area of a sphere is given by the formula 4 pi r square. It is A1. So, 4 pi r1 square. So, I can write what is Q1. In the previous step, we have calculated Q1 as 80 nanocoulomb. 80 into 10 to the power of minus 9 divided by 4 pi into, what is R1? R1 is 8 centimeters. So, I can write 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2 the whole square. So, it is your part. You have to simplify. And on simplifying, you will be getting sigma 1 is equal to 0.99 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulomb per meter square. Charge per unit area. Similarly, if you are taking the second sphere, see, for the second sphere, what is the value of sigma? Sigma 2, let us consider. Sigma 2 equal to Q2 divided by A2. What is Q2? It is 20 nanocoulomb. 20 into 10 to the power of minus 9 divided by 4 pi into R2 square. What is R2? We have to write it out as 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2 the whole square. If you want, you can write one more step. Q2 divided by 4 pi into R2 square. Okay. See, simplify this and you can get the answer as 3.9 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Is it is minus 6 or minus 4? It is minus 6, sorry. Minus 6 centimeters square. Minus 6, not centimeter, coulomb meter square. Okay. So, this we are calling it out as what? This we are calling, or this we are considering it as the surface charge density. Then, what is the next one? The next concept that they have asked is potential on the surface of the first sphere and on the second sphere. So then let us calculate the potential on the sphere. Potentials on the sphere. So potential on the sphere, not potentials, potential on the sphere. In the first case or in the first sphere, let the potential be V1. Potential given by the formula 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q1 divided by R1. So direct substitution. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Q1 is 80 nanocoulomb, 80 into 10 to the power of minus 9, divided by R1 is 8 centimeter, 8 into 10 to the power of minus 2. I think you can easily simplify. See, 10 power minus 9 and 10 power 9 will get cancelled. Then you are cancelling these two, you can write it out as 10. So 9 into 10, you will be getting 90, divided by what? Divided by 10 to the power of minus 2. Taking it to the numerator, you can write 9 into 10 to the power of 3 volt. This is considered to be the potential V1. Similarly, or this can be written as 9 kilovolt, 10 to the power 3 is 9 kilovolt. Similarly, we can calculate it for the second sphere also. For the second sphere, what is the potential? See, we know the potential V2 is given by the formula 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0. Okay, 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q2 divided by R2. Come on, simplify by substituting 1 instead of 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0. I can write what? I can write 9 into 10 to the power of 9. Multiplied it with what is Q2? Q2 is 20 nanocoulomb, 20 into 10 to the power of minus 9. Divided by what is R2? 2 centimeter, 2 into 10 power minus 2. So you just simplify. On simplifying, you will be able to get 2 and 20 got cancelled. So you will be getting 10. This 10 power minus 9 and 10 power plus 9 will be cancelled. So what is the answer then? The answer that you can able to get is V2 is equal to 9 into 10, 90 divided by, isn't it? 90 divided by 10 to the power of minus 2. So you will be getting 9 into 10 to the power of 3 volt, or we can say it out as 9 kilovolt. See, we have proved since both are being connected, V1 is equal to V2. So it is not necessary that you have to calculate again. In order to prove that, I have calculated again. And after calculating V1, you can say it out. Since both spheres are being connected with the help of a thin wire, we can say that the potentials are considered to be equal, or potentials are considered to be same. Hope you should have understood this. Thank you.